Today we're gonna do a range test on the Specialized Como, do a bunch of city riding, what it's intended for, and hopefully help you decide if it's worth it to spend the extra money on a name brand Specialized city bike, because the market's completely flooded with the Chinese e-bikes. So we're gonna test this one. Let's go. If you're not familiar with the Specialized Como, it's a mid-drive motor. That means the motor's between the pedals. Most city bikes come with a hub drive motor, but this one is pretty unique, having the centralized motor. It's definitely a more expensive platform to produce, and this bike's not cheap. So as I go in eco, it's okay for flat city riding. Eco mode, sport mode is like the middle. And then of course, the famous turbo mode from Specialized. Honestly, there's not that much of a difference between the four modes. Specialized bikes are very special because you can tune the software inside of your phone, but out of the box, this bike isn't particularly powerful.
Just for reference, this is a 4.0 Specialized Como. It comes with the Brose motor, the absolute best Specialized e-bike motor you can get on the market. I don't recommend getting the SL versions because those motors are underpowered and noisy.
My riding position is pretty comfortable. Probably spend all day in this bike, no problem. I'm gonna do a brake check on the sign. Brakes are pretty good. We got hydraulic disc brakes. So testing this bike on the grass, it's not bad. It's got about 60, 80 millimeters of suspension travel up front. So you're fully able to get this thing off road. One thing to note is the pedals are pretty far down. So you want to be careful if you're going off road because you could very easily strike a pedal on a rock. So we're back on the pavement where this bike belongs. Very, very comfortable riding position, but the seat is rather not comfortable. A lot of people are going to want to change that seat because it's a little bit on the hard side. So I'm pretty impressed with the handling on this bike. Even with this weirdly shaped handlebar, I'm able to carve the bike. Definitely not a road bike, more on the mountain bike hybrid side of things. So far, so good. Very nice components. We got high-end Shimano brake levers. The drivetrain, most generic e-bikes come with that drivetrain, but this Como comes with a drivetrain that actually works. The motor felt pretty weak. I'm riding this bike completely blind with no research, but then I forgot how amazing Specialized is. This bike has infinite tune. I hit the button on the bottom of the controller right here, and I hold it, and then I can turn the power up. So we're gonna go 100% power in turbo mode and see if it's any better. I've turned the power up to 100% in turbo, and it is a little bit faster, not that much faster. So this motor is completely silent, but it's not super powerful, even with the motor turned up to 100%.
Let's talk about the 6 Specialized Comos. There's the Specialized Como 3, 4, and 5. All these bikes here are gonna be Brose full power motors. I totally recommend getting those if you're a big girl like me. The 3.0 has a 530 watt battery. The 4 and the 5 have a 710 watt battery, which is super good for range. The 5.0 has the Brose 2.2 motor. This motor feels that much better, but it's more efficient on battery. So if you're looking for range, definitely go for the 5.0. And the 5.0, it's got 90 Newton meters of torque. You can't go wrong with 90 Newton meters of torque. If you're a big girl like me, over 200 pounds. If you're a smaller girl, those other bikes would be okay.
So once you turn the power up to 100% on these e-bikes, you need to be careful with the shifting because you can damage the chain, the cassette, the whole drivetrain can be damaged very easily when you have the power cranked up all the way, especially on these mid-drive motors. So mid-drive, like I said before, mid-drive is the motor is between the pedals. That's why this bike has such an expensive price tag, because it's more expensive to manufacture a mid-drive motor. So Specialized bikes, the colors on the website always look different than they do in person. The color in this bike is vibrant red. It's really beautiful design of the frame and the color pops, and red is definitely not my favorite color for bikes. Super simple design, easy to clean, maintain. Very quick to understand the bike, super simplicity in the design and how everything works. I'm a real fan of that design, that super, super low step through. If you chop the seat post down, you could probably be 3.5 feet tall and ride this bike. This bike comes with outstanding fenders. You are not gonna get dirty riding this bike. There's that basket and plenty of accessories, only of the highest quality. The hardware and fasteners look pretty outstanding. The drivetrain is pretty impressive for the 9-speed. It actually works. The integrated headlight and tail light are a nice touch. This bike really is a premium product. I couldn't see the value in it until spending some time with it. The bike has been excellent so far. We're gonna get lunch and I'm gonna lock this bike up, and the tire is too wide to fit into these city racks. It's kind of more of a hybrid mountain bike-ish, kind of a wide tire. Okay, so basically I can only tie the bike off to the fork. I mean, actually only to the wheel. The Specialized Como is really an amazing city bike. This thing is so well put together, outstanding components, rides really good, super friendly step-through design. The display is outstanding. It has micro tune. This is like bar none to nothing on the market. Just like their mountain bikes, they're at the pinnacle of electric bikes. I would totally recommend this if you can afford it. One thing I do not like about this bike is the seat. This is how low the seat can come. No big deal, you can just chop that seat post. Carrying this bike could be a little bit of a challenge because of the fenders. You're gonna need some frame holding device right here. The contact points aren't a huge deal. Contact points, these are the grips in the saddle. They're not perfect. I would prefer this seat to be a little bit softer, especially for the type of people who are gonna buy this. Even for me, it was a little hard. No big deal, it's 50, 60 bucks. The wheels on this bike, 27.5, very friendly for beginners. Gotta love that. High-end single piston Shimano brakes, almost unheard of on a city bike. The motor is completely silent. It's not particularly powerful, even in 100% setting, but the silence of it is amazing. If I was to compare this to other bikes I've ridden, this thing is like an iPhone. It's very simple, sleek, perfect, and expensive. If you like this video and want to watch more cruiser e-bike videos, click this video here and come on with me, because we're going to check this one out next.